Welcome to PDH. This week is 7. I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your time at home, learning lots, staying nice and healthy. Today we're going to be ripping into a lesson about identity. Now it is the end of our exploration of this topic. I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys better, having these conversations about what our personality is and what our identity is based around and what kind of things we value. Today we get to learn, especially in identity, about overcoming personal obstacles and challenges and how that helps to shape our identity as well. So today our learning goal is this too. Identify the source and value of different support people and services that can help someone manage, challenge, it should be challenges, and change. Now, obviously in life right now, we're experiencing some pretty drastic changes compared to the usual. This is the first time that I have implemented a YouTube channel in my teaching. And I'm sure this is the first time that you guys have conducted as much education from your bedrooms or in your pajamas as you have over the last couple of days. And so there's lots of changes and challenges that we are currently facing in life. Challenges like not being able to see our friends or not being able to, really just get out and do things that normally in life we would get lots of enjoyment and satisfaction out of, like sports or movies, going to different places. So definitely very topical for us today, and I hope that you enjoy it. So the discussion for today, the driving question is, who should I turn to when I need help during difficult times and challenges and change? It's a really interesting question, and most of you guys will have different answers to this question. Some of you might have answers like your parents or your friends, or trusted people in your life like doctors or teachers, even school counselors, things of that nature. People that you can go to who can give you wise advice about how you might proceed through a challenging situation or how to overcome different changes that take place. So facing change, what would the internal dialogue be like? Now, often in life, our self-talk can get pretty negative, and we might tell ourselves things like, this is too hard or this challenge is too big. But it's been really cool to see some people, and especially in modern psychology, developing self-talk around these kinds of things, about having a growth mindset. And facing challenges and changes is largely how well you go is largely dependent on what kind of outlook you have and what kind of support network you have as well. So if you've got a support network that knows that you are experiencing a challenge, they can help to guide you with wisdom. But if you've also got a positive outlook, then often things that might seem too difficult, you'll be able to overcome because you won't stop trying or you won't stop working out ways to face that challenge. Today we're going to have a look at a video. It is of Kurt Fearnley, who is an incredible man, and how he has overcome some challenges. And so there is a question for you to write down the answer to on the iLearn learning activity, which is this: what type of personal characteristics and other skills, strategies, and supports helped Kurt overcome his challenges and struggles? So that's the first question that you're going to be doing for this lesson on the iLearn page. So I'll read a brief summary about Kurt and who he is, and then I'll get you to pause the video and go to the YouTube link in the learning activity to see his story. Kurt Fearnley was born with lumbar sacral agenesis, which meant that he was missing parts of his spine and sacrum. The New South Wales country town of Carcoar, where Kurt lived, came together to get him a wheelchair so that he could compete professionally in sport. By the time he retired from international wheelchair racing in 2018, he had racked up 13 medals, in addition to winning the Sydney Marathon 11 times and the New York Marathon 5 times. In fact, the wheelchair races finished long before the runners because of how quickly they can complete the 42 kilometers. As well as that, Kurt has been recognised with an Officer of the Order of Australia and now as New South Wales Australian of the Year for distinguished service to the people with a disability and for his fundraising achievements for Indigenous athletics and charitable organisations. So I implore you to listen to Kurt's story and learn how to use vocabulary around overcoming adversity. It's something that's particularly important so that we don't feel so helpless, despite how sometimes we are much more able to overcome certain difficulties or challenges than other people in life. All right, so pause the video, have a look at Kurt's video now, complete the question about what type of personal characteristics and other skills and strategies Kurt has used, and then come back to the video and we'll finish off this activity. Awesome. So I hope you really enjoyed that video. I know for me, it was a nice wake-up call about how good life is and how I should not ever make excuses for certain things, but instead I should really be proactive in how I face challenges, and especially about how important it is to have communities around us and how important it is to be part of communities that supports people, especially people that need our help or who are vulnerable. All right, so speaking of support people, who are your support people? The next part of this activity is to identify the people that you would go to when facing life's challenges and changes, and to really think about why do you go to them, how do they help you, who else can you go to, and what could they offer you that is different and helpful? Because not all support people are the same. I know, for instance, that if you were to go to your parents about an issue, they might be able to give you some very wise advice, but they might not be able to relate to the issue as well as perhaps one of your friends who is also going through a similar issue can. It doesn't mean that their advice is not as important. In fact, sometimes parents' advice can be more important because they might have gone through this experience and come out the other side. But sometimes we need different things from different support people. So why do you go to them? How do they help you? And who else can you go to? And what could they offer you that is different and helpful? So I'd like you to think of 3 people. Try and maybe categorize parents in one category, unless there is very different things that your parents can offer you, in which case feel free to write those different things down that your different parents can offer you. And then finally, who else can you go to and what could they offer you that is different and helpful? Try and think of a few people for that category as well. So once you've done that, you can fill out that part of our learning activity on iLearn. And we're going to move on to the next part, which is being a good support. Now for this activity, what we're going to do is research and create an infographic about skills and strategies to help someone as well as to help yourself. So being a good support and getting good support are really important ways of overcoming challenges and changes. Now in the community, there's lots of different organizations that can help people who are feeling stressed out or anxious or depressed. And there are also different agencies that can assist you in particular situations. There are lots of organizations that support people with chronic illnesses or with disabilities. There are lots of initiatives to help people that are homeless or that are going without food. There are lots of charities and religious groups like the Salvation Army and the Red Cross that are charitable organizations that help to provide support for vulnerable people in our society. But there are also things like sporting teams and different groups that also provide quite a bit of support as well. Now, on the iLearn page, I've actually included an infographic, an example. And the example that I've included is 5 things to do when you're feeling down. And it has some different helpful things that you can do when you're feeling upset or not feeling yourself. And it's an example of an infographic. It's not super wordy. It's not just pictures either though, but rather it's kind of a cross between. So an infographic is you finding some helpful tips and creating a visually pleasing way of representing those tips. And what we want you to do today is to create that an infographic for yourself about skills and strategies to help someone as well as to help yourself. And so you can do that by researching those strategies on Google, or if you already know some, you can put those down. If you'd like to, feel free to use Canva to create this infographic, or if you'd like to use Photoshop, that's also fine. All right, now this is where it'd be really awesome if you could complete that infographic and get it to me so that we can create some posters for when we're back at school that we can put up around the classroom of your infographic with helpful tips for people to overcome challenges or changes, so that they can be reminded of the supportive community that they have around them in class, which is all of you guys. Now that's all that is there for you to do. So in today's lesson, you should have uploaded your infographic. You should have written down the people who you can go to in life when you're facing challenges, why you go to them, how they can help you, and who else you could go to, as well as answering the question about what types of personal characteristics and other skills and strategies and supports helped Kurt overcome his challenges and struggles. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that it has taught you something about how important it is to have a supportive community and be part of a supportive community. And I really, really hope that you had fun creating your infographic about how to support people. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you soon.